Hey, it's Shirley. Today I want to talk about myself, right? Just about diabetes in general. Diabetes in general is this. I wake up, everybody's different too, so please do not take anything I say too seriously. But basically, I get up, I have some coffee, and I have something sweet just because my blood sugar is a little bit on the low side always. In this, thank God I got my monitors. I got my Dexcom 7 and I got my Omnipod pump. Now, those two things are great, so I ain't going to complain about it because I've been diabetic so long. Jesus Christ, I used to have plastic needles, have to piss in a cup to tell me if I had ketones, to tell me what my blood sugar was. Hell, now I think it's perfect with all the technology they have. Anyway, so you know what? In the morning, after my coffee, do a little, number two, right? Then also too, I go for hiking, right? My rule in diabetes is this: you need to get off your ass and exercise. That's always been my philosophy. Did I say that right? Philosophy, right? Anyway, if you're not exercising, you're not going to live a long time. Honestly, diabetics will live 12 years shorter than the average bear. Anyway, you need to exercise. That's the whole key to it. Now, picture yourself with diabetes. Think of yourself as being on a tightrope, right? If you're on a tightrope, right, you're going to fall off if you go one way or you go the other. You need to be right there in the middle. And that middle is your blood sugar. Not too high, not too low, right? Everybody's different. Me being diabetic for so long, I feel great between 150 and 200. For most folks, their doctors are going to kill them if they're that high. Their ACs, A1Cs are high. Now, I'd say this. You have to find a nice feeling where you are. If you feeling like really, what's the word, half drunk, you need to get your diabetes in control and get it to where blood sugar where you feel comfortable. And that's the second part of what I'm going to talk about, eating, right? Now, eating, there's a really easy formula. You just have your carbohydrates. We used to call that like exchanges or things like that. And then you have your insulin. Like I think mine is like 25 grams of carbohydrate is 1 unit of insulin, right? Or you can also do this. If you go and you exercise, you might be able to get that blood sugar down too. So it's kind of like balancing act I was talking about. Now, the good news is this. It's not the end of the world. Diabetes you can control basically with exercise, diet, a good attitude, and most of all, don't be drinking too much. Don't be, smoking too much of that marijuana stuff either, because that make you get hungry. That's why they say the munchies, because your blood sugar gets low. Diabetics get munchies, but for the other reason, our insulins are getting low. And also, too, understand this. Sometimes, I always like to call this like, Jesus, I feel like going shopping in my pajamas, or wait a minute, is my blood sugar low? Am I thinking straight? Right? That's why sometimes when you're pulled over by a police officer, that you might think like they might think you're drunk. Well, your blood sugar might be low. But now, because of technology, you can actually control your diabetes with things like Dexcom and insulin pumps. Jesus Christ, I don't know how many times I was like dozing off. Whew. Anyway, I just want to share something with you, but being diabetic and being diabetic for so long, because I always say this: diabetes has actually saved my life because it made me rethink how I act, how I eat, and how I exercise.